We test a considerable measure of extravagant, convoluted autos here at Autoblog. A large portion of the autos that come in are high trim with whatever number alternatives as could be expected under the circumstances. That is the reason it was fairly invigorating when Hyundai sent us its new Accent in the most essential conceivable frame, the Accent SE. It's the base of the Accent line beginning at $15,880. There are no alternatives accessible when building one out on Hyundai's site. And as per the window sticker, the main additional to it was an arrangement of covered floor mats. The main potential issue with such a fundamental auto is, to the point that there's nothing to compensate for a poor driving background. Gratefully, that is not the situation with the Accent. It's a solid esteem that offers an agreeable and even now and then fun driving background. It even gives simply enough highlights to not feel like an aggregate punishment box. Outside, inside and highlights. Being the SC trim level, our Accent was very unadorned. It had steel wheels with plastic wheel covers, no mist lights, not all that much. In spite of that, it wasn't an awful-looking seemingly insignificant detail, brandishing marginally contracted Elantra looks that aren't too far out of extent. Speaking to this manager was the manual transmission, which is just accessible on the snow frills trim. The inside feels about as essential and shabby as the outside, and is effectively one of the weakest purposes of the little auto. The dash and entryway boards look as if they were formed as one unit from the same hard dark plastic. There are just a few light dim trim pieces to shield it from looking excessively depressing, however it feels like a to some degree irresolute endeavor. Fortunately Hyundai doesn't totally punish you for picking the base trim level. Despite everything you get the necessities, for example, voyage control, control windows and locks, aerating and cooling, USB and Bluetooth network, 6-way customizable seats, and even slow begin help and back view camera. In the Accent's cousin, the Kia Rio, you pass up a major opportunity for the voyage control and power windows and locks. Yet, in the Rio's support is a much more classy plan that shows shabby materials don't need to be boring and dull. All the Accent's controls can rest easy and are instinctive, however, which is something fancier autos can't regularly say. Motor, transmission, ride and taking care of. Where the Accent misses the mark in visual impressions, it compensates for them on the drive. Most noteworthy is the auto's ride quality. We're at the pinnacle of southeastern Michigan pothole season, and the Accent took care of it easily. It travels directly finished knocks without bumping, shivering or vibrating. And keeping in mind that astutely drenching up knocks, the body remained relentless and controlled with no kind of boy. There isn't much punishment concerning dealing with, either. Body slender is minor, and the auto doesn't get squirrely finished mid-corner knocks. The cutoff points do come up quick however on its little 185/65 R15 tires, and the front doesn't feel particularly anxious to hand over. Another solid point is the Hyundai powertrain. It has just the 130 drive 1.6-liter 4-chamber, however combined with the 6-speed manual, it's punchy enough to hurdle through city activity and hustle up entrance ramps in sensible time. The motor itself is a bit buzzy, yet decent, and it gives 28 miles per gallon in the city and 37 on the expressway with the manual. The program adds another mpg to the throughway number for 38. The manual shifter is a lovely astonishment. It's smooth, light and exact. Combined with all-around set pedals, a firm open brake pedal, and a responsive throttle, it was anything but difficult to do some foot rear area and toe moving and really have a considerable measure of fun driving this little auto. The main frustration was the guiding, which was normal, best-case scenario. It's weighted fine, however it's unresponsive and somewhat loose, so it's difficult to know where the front tires are indicating and what they're up. There's just extremely one other protest I have with the Accent, and that is the commotion. Notwithstanding the to some degree buzzy motor, wind clamor comes through plainly at rapid, with some articulated shrieking around the columns and mirror. Be that as it may, the most exceedingly bad is the street and tire clamor, particularly finished knocks. It's extremely boomy when skipping off them. so you'll most likely need to keep the stereo turned up. Esteem. Estimating is one last preferred standpoint for the accent. Its tried cost of just shy of $16,000, including gold charge, is less expensive than a correspondingly prepared Ford Fiesta, Chevy Sonic, Honda Fit, Toyota Yaris or Nissan Versa Note. The same goes for programmed prepared adaptations of those different autos, yet the Hyundai slips over the $16,000 check there. The Mitsubishi Mirage and Nissan Versa car can guarantee better estimating, but at the same time they're much more terrible autos. In any case, in the event that you need a manual transmission and more highlights, the opposition pulls ahead since numerous don't attach the adhere to the most reduced level auto. Hatchback fans will likewise need to look somewhere else, since the accent has lost its incubate alternative.